It's Thursday, January 16. In the headlines, the government and opposition at odds about constitution reform. Cancer care equipment installed at the public laboratory. In business news, we look at the latest market movements. Regionally, Trinidad and Tobago leads a region with the first certified green port. And in sports, two Jamaicans set to compete in the 10th Latin America Amateur Golf Championships in Argentina, and West Indies wary of spin conditions in Pakistan. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Members of Parliament are at odds over the amendments to Jamaica's constitution on the journey to becoming a republic. The opposition wants full decolonization, including the country moving away from the UK Privy Council as its final appellate court. However, the government has proposed a phased approach. The debate continued at Wednesday's first meeting of the Joint Select Committee reviewing the Constitution Amendment Republic Act 2024. Leader of the opposition, Mark Golding, explained his party's stance before the proceedings began.
The bills to move to the Caribbean Court of Justice, the CCJ, as Jamaica's final court of appeal, were tabled in this parliament for the second time 10 years ago. Are the people of Jamaica not entitled to be told why the government has not tabled the CCJ bills again, thereby signaling that both sides, government and opposition, will work together to accomplish the twin objectives of transitioning both from the British monarchy and from the British monarch's court?
Chairperson of the committee, Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, Marlene Malahoo Fort, reiterated the government's position that the amendments to the Constitution will be done in stages.
And the mechanism ultimately requires the approval of the people to change our head of state. And that approval of the people can only come after the Parliament itself has approved a bill. It is no secret that the intent is for the two sides of the Parliament to work together.
Opposition Senator Donna Scott Motley then voiced her support for her party's demand.
The public might not share the views of the parliamentary personalities. I believe that asking for the discourse about the CCJ is a small point in terms of time and in terms of process. But it is of significance nationally. People should at least understand why the government has so many reservations about the CCJ and why it is that the government seems to be wedded to the Privy Council as the final court of appeal.
Senator Scott Motley also wants specific members of the public to participate in the committee's deliberations. The chair took that suggestion. Cancer care equipment has been commissioned into service at the National Public Health Laboratory. A new state-of-the-art immunohistochemistry machine was installed on Wednesday, January 15. According to the Jamaica Information Service, the Ventana Benchmark GX costs $419,584.38. Its procurement is intended to strengthen the Ministry of Health and Wellness's capabilities in managing breast cancer analysis, diagnosis, and treatment. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the acquisition marks a major step in further enhancing Jamaica's diagnostic capacity and will support the ministry's efforts to improve breast cancer care in the health system. Additional road works have commenced under the government's $45 billion Shared Prosperity through Accelerated Improvement to Our Road Network project, the SPARK project. Information Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon gave an update during this week's post-cabinet press brief. The SPARK project is focused on citizen-selected roads across all parishes.
If you go on the SPARK website, you will see the roads that are being fixed.
China Harbour Engineering Company has been awarded the contract for work to be undertaken on roads across all parishes under the project. The work will be undertaken in 4 sets, commencing in St. Thomas, Kingston, and St. Andrew.
Also across St. Catherine, Maypen to Hayes, that's one area, one roadway that we're fixing. Freetown to Alley, Pennants to Frankfield, Danks to Crofts Hill, and I heard that Danks to Crofts Hill, that started this morning. So we're very happy about that. Spalding to Cave Valley, Maypen to Soursop Turn, Maypen to Porus, James Hill Road, Spanish Town Road, Mannings Hill Road, Malines Road, Mountain View Avenue, East Kings House Road, and the list continues.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has said that the project will see the installation of fiber optic ducts to support future broadband connectivity, which aligns with the government's digital transformation strategy. The National Water Commission will be working with the contractors to prevent the need for road excavation in the future, improve cost efficiency, and reduce duplications in public works. This week is Earthquake Awareness Week in Jamaica. The theme for the day is Prepare for the Quake, Reduce the Impact of the Shake. The Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information and the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, is working with schools to teach earthquake safety. Students are being taught the drop, cover, and hold on technique for earthquakes, and they're participating in earthquake and fire drills. On Wednesday, our news team visited Halfway Tree Primary School in Kingston to observe their drill.
The grade 5 syllabus emphasizes issues around natural hazards and how they impact us. And because of that, I thought it was of significance that the children not only learn about these things, but we get them engaged in the practice. Why do we need to do an earthquake drill? It is to prepare us for an emergency of an earthquake, because Jamaica is in the zone where we experience earthquakes, so we are not going to get by it. So we have to prepare ourselves for it, so just in case, how we respond.
Mrs. Hazley says students are encouraged to share the knowledge with their family,
so that themselves and their parents can organize a safe exit from an apartment or a space when an earthquake occurs. So the children has become accustomed to it, and they know that this is something that they are to expect. They never always know when we are going to call off a drill on them, but they know how to respond. We try to get them to practice it. From January, people start looking out, because we know that January is Earthquake Awareness Month, and they know that for every Earthquake Awareness month, Mrs. Hazley is going to call an earthquake drill.
Jamaica is located on the northern edge of the Caribbean plate. The matter came up at the recent launch of Earthquake Awareness Month at the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management. Head of the Earthquake Unit at the University of West Indies, Kevin Tanku, explained why Jamaica experiences felt quakes.
Particularly because we are sort of between two plates, the North American tectonic plate as well as the Caribbean plate. This interaction between the two plates is what is responsible for the earthquakes.
Right.
So that's on the more regional scale. As we zoom into Jamaica now, we realize that a lot of these regional faults that control the boundary between the two plates actually cross through Jamaica or off the coast of Jamaica. And earthquakes are what actually resulted in the uplift and development of Jamaica. Tectonism, overall tectonism in the Northern Caribbean. And this is the reason why we actually have the island itself being developed.
Scientists have reported about 200 or more minor quakes in the vicinity of Jamaica annually, but all of them were not felt quakes. Last year, seismic activity resulted in 520 reported earthquakes in Jamaica's surroundings. At least 19 quakes were felt, the strongest being a magnitude 6.5 episode on November 10. Time now for the Business Report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. Companies listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange released their financial reports for investors' inspection. Knutsford Express Services Limited reports 6 months net profit of $119.72 million. Next, Caribbean Cream Limited reports 94% decrease in net profits for the 9-month period. Following that report, Express Catering Limited reports 6 months net profit of US $1.45 million. Then we hear that Image Plus Consultants Limited reports 9 months a net profit of $41.57 million. From there, One-on-One Educational Services Limited reports 3 months a net profit of $11.22 million. And Margaritaville Turks Limited reports 83% increase in 6 months net profit. Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, JMEA, is expecting a large turnout of international buyers at the upcoming Expo Jamaica 2025, slated for Thursday, April 3 to Sunday, April 6, 2025. The Business Advocacy Group has revealed that already 300 buyers have registered for the trade show, including 200 international buyers from the USA, Cayman Islands, Dominican Republic, Canada, Mexico, United Kingdom, Peru, Macedonia, Mexico, Bahamas, Trinidad, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Martin, US Virgin Islands, Panama, Peru, and Ecuador. The event will showcase the best of Jamaica's manufacturing and export sectors while allowing local businesses to connect with global buyers and reinforcing the country's role as a key player in international trade. VM Investments has closed its recent $5.4 billion Jamaican bond initial public offer, which has been oversubscribed. The offer closed on January 10, having opened on December 19, 2024. The offer was initially set to close on December 24, 2024, but was extended to January 10 due to strong demand from the market. Proceeds from the bond offer will be used to refinance a portion of Victoria Mutual's maturing debt. By issuing new bonds to replace existing ones, the company aims to extend the maturity dates of its current debt, providing longer repayment periods. For the trading period ending January 15, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Jamaica Stock Exchange with 5,031,631 units traded, representing 28.70% of market sales volume. Cigarette distributor Carreras Limited with 4,010,000 10,985 units traded, representing 22.88% of market sales volume. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited with 1,430,635 units traded, accounting for 8.16% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the foreign exchange market rates set by the Bank of Jamaica. On January 15, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $62.38 million was purchased and US $61.80 million was sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.10 per dollar selling the US at $157.61 and buying the US at $156.51. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $1.86 per transaction, with selling at $109.97 and buying at $108.11. The British pound yielded Forex traders a profit of $7.27, with selling at $193.25 and buying at $185.98. For our credit report tip of the day, you can rebuild your financial health one step at a time because your credit score is a tool, not your identity. Here are a few steps. Consider credit counseling. A professional can help you strategize and rebuild. Next, start a small emergency fund. Save even $10, $100 a week to reduce reliance on credit for unexpected expenses. Financial recovery and resilience for women over the age of 45 often means building something from nothing. Here's a roadmap. Create a wealth building team. Work with a financial coach, an accountant, or an investment advisor to build a strategy tailored to your goals. Also, network for support. Surround yourself with like-minded women who can share advice, opportunities, and encouragement. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step towards your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, Trinidad and Tobago is kicking off 2025 with another major milestone in sustainability. The nation has earned the title of being the first in the region to have a certified green port. Let's take a closer look at Labidco's Port of Brighton and what this accomplishment means for the country.
In December 2024, the Port of Brighton on the Labray Industrial Estate became the 66th green port in the world to be certified by the Eco-Sustainable Logistics Change, but more significantly, the first within the CARICOM region. Eco-SLC is an independent and non-profit foundation which delivers tools for ports and port terminals to build their own environmental management system based on the EcoPort's PERS guidelines and global standards.
It involved an initial audit which would have been done externally for a gap analysis based on international standards, EU standards to be specific. Subsequent to that, we had a detailed assessment where we would have had to do in phase 2 certain measures, certain steps to demonstrate that we are compliant with the requirements. And this is aligned to ISO 14001 and also to general systems and standards in the EU port system.
The port is a multi-use berth facility that services tenants on both the Union Industrial Estate and the Labray Industrial Estate. The facility consists of 3 berths, a 500-meter turning basin, several warehouses and a laydown area. Notably, berth 2 supports the export of methanol from the petrochemicals complex located on the Union Industrial Estate. The Labray Industrial Development Company Limited, Labidco, says the process to achieve Green Port certification was very robust and intense. But General Manager Dr. Vernon Paltu believes it was the natural next step.
It gives us an opportunity to demonstrate firsthand that we are doing more than just saying that we are taking environmental measures. We are able to do so from a perspective where it is auditable. So, for example, many of our clients, particularly the multinational clients, would see this as a benefit for them in terms of being able to report in their sustainability reporting that they are using a port that is certified as a green port.
He notes, moving forward, the green port practices will become inherent in the way they do business. And with the marine industry being one of the biggest emitters of greenhouse gases, decarbonization is a major priority for a green port. As part of Labidco's greening process, one of their initiatives was to plant 581 trees. Now, this would help reduce greenhouse gas emissions on the facility.
Those trees, when mature, will absorb approximately 12,500 kilograms of carbon dioxide annually. In addition to that, we would have installed 100 solar-powered lights on the estate that would reduce our emissions annually by 90,000 kilograms.
Dr. Palto notes the certification process takes place every 2 years, and there are already plans to continue and improve upon what's been implemented, like the Renewable Energy Center at Labidco. It's expected that this will increase usage of renewable energy on bestow operations to almost 135%. Labidco also recently completed a waste management study with the University of Trinidad and Tobago.
And when we implement those measures, we would reduce our annual waste on the estate by as much as 10,000 tons per year. It is not just about our role as environmental protectors, but ensuring sustainability and good business sense as we build, the industry for the future.
Dr. Palto says having full support both from employees and the board of directors propelled them towards getting the Green Port certification ahead of schedule.
Studies indicate that by 2050, if we don't do anything with climate change, it could wipe out as much as 11 to 14% of global GDP, which is, in essence, about $23 trillion. That should be of concern to all of us, as a society. But we, as a small country, should be doing our part.
Hats off to the Port of Brighton and those at Labidco who are demonstrating what can be replicated locally and regionally. I am Stacey Ann Providence, keeping it green for TTT News.
Caribbean's own digital currency, Carib Coin, is making waves. Founder Dr. Jan Schroeder says 2024 was a breakthrough year, with the foundation now in place for its full rollout in 2025. Dr. Schroeder shared the update during the Caribbean Telecommunications Union's inaugural International ICT Forecast Industry Watch meeting. The Carib dollar promises near-instant, low-cost, cross-border transfers, aiming to reduce the region's reliance on the US dollar.
We set up our basis, product development and integration, that's where we're up to. We finalized our product development at the moment so we can issue Carib dollar, we can distribute it, it can be transferred from businesses to businesses. All this has been set up and works and now can be integrated into payment service provider apps or whoever wants to support in being an agent of Carib dollar throughout the region. Licensing is on its way. We've just passed the second stack of documents to CIMA, which is the financial authority in the Cayman Islands where Carib Coin is based. We've done a lot of team and network building because we essentially believe this can only be a joint effort of the whole Caribbean. This is nothing a private company can and should do by itself.
In sports, we tee off with golf. Zandre Roy and Ryan Liu are set to represent Jamaica at the 10th Latin America Amateur Championship from Thursday, January 16 to January 19 at the Pilar Golf Club in Buenos Aires. This is Roy's second time at the championship, while Liu will be making his debut. There are 28 countries and over 100 golfers in the championship this year. The list includes some familiar competitors such as Barbados, Bermuda, Puerto Rico, the Cayman Islands, and Trinidad and Tobago. They will also meet last year's runner-up Omar Morales of Mexico, who is aiming to win the championship for the first time. We go over now to cricket, as the West Indies cricket team is gearing up for a high-stakes test series against Pakistan, kicking off this Friday. It's their first tour to Pakistan in nearly 20 years. And with the series wrapping up the current World Test Championship cycle, the pressure is on. Here's Nasira Mohammed with the details.
After arriving in Pakistan, the West Indies had a few days of practice and a 3-day warm-up match to adapt to the conditions. One of the team's go-to spinners, Jamel Warrican, shared insights into the team's preparations.
The preparation has been very well. We had a couple of days to practice and play a practice game as well, and I think the guys and myself took the opportunity to get familiar with the conditions and prepare well for the test series starting on Friday.
The warm-up game highlighted the conditions the team will face, with spinning wickets and quick outfields expected to dominate. These factors will play a significant role in shaping the team's approach. Despite the spinning conditions, the team is focusing on discipline and execution.
Don't get carried away with the conditions, still gotta stick to the basics. You gotta be disciplined, you gotta put the balls in the right areas and just wait for something to happen sometimes and not get too caught up in being overly aggressive, because you could get carried away thinking like spinning conditions, and we as spinners have to be 100% aggressive, but just have a balance and sticking to the basic and be very, very disciplined.
With the World Test Championship cycle closing, the West Indies are eager to make a statement.
Anyone would like to have a brilliant climax, so for us, we really need those points to finish very strong, and just for us to figure as a team, just to finish the series with a win and just finish the World Championship, Test Championship with a bang.
As the first test approaches, the West Indies are ready to put their preparation to the test and make an impact in Pakistan. Fans can look forward to a gripping series as the team seeks to end their World Test Championship campaign on a winning note.
We stay with cricket, as West Indies head coach Andre Coley is staying tight-lipped about the Moulton Cricket Stadium pitch ahead of Friday's first test against Pakistan. Drawing on lessons from past tours, including England's visit to Pakistan, Coley says the team is ready to adapt to any conditions.
I don't want to comment too much on the pitch. The series between England and Pakistan obviously is history, and there's quite a bit to be taken from it. We have a clear plan in our mind as you look at the makeup of our squad. So the squad gives us the option to go either way. So we have that flexibility, the squad.
The coach also discussed the team's journey in the World Test Championship, acknowledging both the highs and lows of 2024.
We have had some good performances. We've had some disappointing ones. So as we start 2025, finishing off the current edition and look forward to the start of the next one, is really about taking the learning and the positives from the previous year, and then in a new environment for most of the players as well, is to be able to back themselves, trust the preparation, and keep learning quickly.
When asked about target scores for the matches, he underscored the unpredictability of cricket and the importance of staying focused on the game's dynamics rather than predetermined numbers.
You could always put targets and numbers, but what actually matters is what happens on the day. You could say 300, you could say 250, but when you look at how players apply themselves, you could actually get a lot more than that. So it's really about backing our skills, being present in the moment, and staying in the game for as long as possible and trying to control the game for as long as possible. That's what we're focusing on.
With Pakistan expected to field a strong spin attack, Coach Coley revealed that his team has been preparing to counter their strategies and gain an early advantage in the series.
So our aim here on this series is actually to prepare in a manner in such a way that based on the squad that Pakistan has selected, that we're in a position to negotiate and gain control of the game early and control throughout.
And that's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.